Hi, it's Mrs. Higgins. I'm going to do a quick video on how you and your kiddos can do CER at home. First, I'm really excited that I had so many parents ask what CER was because I know that you guys are helping your kiddos at home, and that makes me feel good about sending home homework. So CER, I'll just give you a quick tidbit, is a science expectation, and the C stands for claim, the E stands for evidence, and the R stands for reasoning. And we have brought it over to math, and it helps kids with writing. And if we start as early as 3rd grade, they will be very successful at it when they get to 5th grade. And the 4th grade teachers at Fry Height are also doing it. So we begin it in 2nd grade. And so in science, they would, every time they get to a question, they write CER. Going up and down, and they write claim, evidence, and reasoning. And in science, they make it my claim is, and then they write what they believe the answer will be. In evidence, they write my evidence is, and then they have all their science work. And for R, they have their reasoning. And my reasoning is, and what they do for reasoning is they put their claim and their evidence together to make one giant sentence. In 3rd grade, I tried it last year, and it just took a long time for the kids to turn in math work because they were doing so much writing. So I tweaked it down a little bit, and I plugged in some Greg Tang math ideas, which is a math guru guy. And this is what I came up with. So when your kiddo gets a problem, they read it, and then they highlight the question. So on this week's homework, I sent home for week 3. It's John has 254 water bottles for the 3rd grade field trip. After the field trip is over, there are 30 water bottles left. How many water bottles were used? And I put, don't forget to use CER. So what I always want the kiddos to do, I don't want them to circle any clues, any numbers, anything. Just based on the training that we've been to, I just want them to highlight the question, how many water bottles were used. And this is going to help them write their claim. So what you want them to do is you want them to take the question and start answering it with a sentence. So how many water bottles were used? So my claim is, and I wrote it right here, C, blank water bottles were used. So all I did was take the words in the question and begin a statement. Then E, right over here, is where they're going to do their math work. E is evidence. That's just your straight up math homework. Lots of kids refer to it as show me your work. That's the spot for it, just right there. There's no words. I didn't write my evidence is. Nothing. It's just the math work. Then when they get their answer, 224, then they're going to plug that into the C blank. So now they have a complete sentence. 224 water bottles were used. If we were to do R, which I don't want to do R till the end of the year because I feel like we need to be good at C and E before we can begin R. But if we were to do R, it stands for reasoning. What you do is you take your 2 C and E statements and you make a complete sentence. So what it would say is, if I wanted to do it like correctly and what 5th grade wants, it would say 224 water bottles were used because 254 minus 30 equals 224. That's your reasoning. It's taking your claim, taking your evidence, and making one giant sentence. So one more time, I'm just going to put these together to make one long statement for reasoning. 224 water bottles were used because 254 minus 30 equals 224. That's a lot of writing, and we're just not ready for that this early in the school year, so I don't have kids do it, but I have them write it for good practice. I hope that covers everything that you guys are wondering about. If it doesn't, please let me know below, and I will make another video. Thanks.